What's up guys, Sage here, back with another Bleeding Edge how-to video. So we're going over Miko this time, so let's get into her abilities. So her first one is her basic attack. She's just another melee character. So going past that, we're going to go to her regenerator, which is her passive. Staff impacts heal Miko or a nearby ally with lowest health. So ally, whatever you want to say, means teammates. And going over to her special abilities is chain heal. Heal an ally or ally, then bounces to a second target for half the amount. Double tap to cast on yourself. And then Kinetic Shield. Deploy a dome shield that blocks enemy projectiles and beams. And last one is Stasis. Freeze the target in place for a short time. And then going over to her supers. Life Force. Channel a powerful heal on an ally or ally. Can be retargeted with LB while active. And her last one is Stalker. Grant stealth to all allies and reveal all enemies for 10 seconds. Allies are lightly healed while stealth. So since Miko is a healer character, the way you always want to start off with a healer is you always want to stay with your team no matter what. That's the best way to start off with any team. You always want to stay with your team at first. And the way you go about doing the healer thing is you want to always be around your tank. That's the best thing for you to do. Always be around your tank, because your tank is supposed to protect and block your team. And because you're staying around your tank and your tank is just supposed to be defending you, you're always going to get some kind of protection around your tank. Now, if your tank isn't there, yes, you do go to your DPS for help, but you'll also be doing similar damage, not as high, because I mean it's DPS. They're always going to do more damage than you because they're built to do more damage than you, but your damage will somewhat be there to help out the DPS. So never just stand up and not attack. Even though you're healing, you're supposed to always prioritize your healing, but still always attack just so you can help out, because when it's a DPS versus a DPS, your damage will be a lot in that fight. So there's nothing like a just stand up, heal, and not attack. Your damage is that of something of importance to where it comes to, yes, if you're fighting a DPS v DPS and your teammate is there and say another one pops in, you can definitely help your DPS in that fight. Your damage is not that low, because on this game, the healer's damage is not as weak as you probably think. The healer's damage is actually pretty high. A healer could easily 1v a DPS character. So yeah, just never just stand up and just heal and not attack. Always remember to, help your team by attacking and stuff, especially with Miko, because Miko, the way she's built is every time she lands staff blows, she gets healing. So she's another Bridget from Overwatch, where you attack, you get some healing. So you can attack and still get your healing automatically without your chain heal or any other ability. So just remember to help your team in the fights. So like I said, always try to start off staying with your team and being around your tank. Now, it's best for your team to be grouped up because, like I said, it's a healer. So you always have to keep an eye on each of your teammates. If there's one teammate that always breaks off from the team, keep an eye on that teammate, because that teammate may need your help at some point in time. Now, if that teammate is way too far from the fight and your team is just having a whole team fight, focus your team that's fighting at that time in that moment, because that player that's probably far away from your team during a team fight moment, if he's not going for some kind of a objective big play or something like that, then that teammate is probably just out of position. And you don't want to go over there and be out of position with that teammate, because you're the healer. You're supposed to try to keep your team up for the fight. And there are times where you're 3v4ing and you guys end up coming out on top on that fight because you just have better DPS, you have better healing. It's always something if you come out on top with 3 people on 4. So just stay with your team. Remember to keep them healed up and just try to protect them as best you can and do your thing, man. But going over her first ability, which is her chain heal, this is the ability you want to play the most. The chain heal is the ability that she gets the most healing on due to having 6 seconds. And that's where you really want to just get your healing going. So even though you did not heal a specific person, it does chain off to a second target. So like say if you need healing and you heal yourself, it will bounce to another player as well. The other player will not get as much healing as you did, but the other player will get some kind of healing. Same thing with you throwing it on someone and it bouncing off to a player. Yes, that does happen. It just bounces off and the other player just gets a little less healing, but they still get some kind of healing. So it's a very good ability, and you have to play it right. You have to know who to hit at what time, and when to heal them, because she's not like a zero cool. She doesn't sit there and just hold healing on a player. No, she throws out healing, and she just keeps doing it like that. That's just the way how she works. Because she has a melee attack, the way you play is you play her fight to healing, and that's just how you use Miko. Miko's one of those healers that you're just gonna be in the fight. So other from that, her Kinetic Shield, this is a very power play ability, because if they have ranged characters and you drop this bubble down, you can easily protect your team from taking any incoming damage, grenades, or anything. So this is a very powerful special. So like I said, you have to use it correctly, and if you do it correctly, you can really set up for deploys, like dropping down your guys' cells, or other things like holding down a point, and all these other combos that you could do, especially if you have a double healer like Kalev. If you drop a bubble with Kalev's healing and your team goes inside, you guys could stay away from some incoming damage from ranged characters to get some kind of healing, and continue to fight, which will easily help you win fights. Because there's many times where I have done something like that. I dropped the Kinetic Shield with a Kalev healing, and the enemy team, say they would have like 2 ranged characters, or they would have like a ranged character and melee characters, and the ranged characters would be keep firing, but the melee characters, they'll be far away because we push back to the shield. That gives us enough time to get some kind of healing going, especially due to us having double healer. That thing just easily makes us overpower the team because they did not have double healing. So once we did that, we got the healing going in there, came right back out, and we just took over the fight. So things like that, you could easily make an easy comeback. Now her next ability, which is her Stasis the Freeze. The Freeze ability is one of those you really have to catch the target kind of things, because yes, it is a range move, but it's kind of slow-ish. So if you use it at the right time, yes, it will freeze the enemy, but it's a 13-second cooldown time, so try not to miss it. And this is something that's very powerful to shutting down ultimates, and or to catch speed characters like Cass, Demon. If you see a Cass running away and your team's trying to catch him, you can freeze her before she get that momentum going. So that's very powerful, especially if she's coming in with an ultimate and you see her ulting on your team. You can freeze her to shut it down, and it'll just stop a ton of damage coming you guys' way, and that would be a waste of an ultimate without you guys even using an ultimate. So it's a very powerful ability, and it has a 13-second cooldown time, which is not too bad, but it's very powerful. So you just gotta remember and watch to see if you have it up. And if you have it up, just play around it, man. You can do some crazy plays with this Stasis, because you can really shut down some ultimates or some end game plays. So it's a very good ability. And the last stuff I want to go over is her supers, which is first one being Life Force. Life Force, you are very vulnerable. Like, you are just holding your beam to heal a teammate, but you cannot attack while you're doing it. And Miko, she's a character that has to fight to heal, or go off of her ability to heal herself. So while you're doing this, you are very vulnerable. You are just open for attack at any time. So you have to use this at the right time, and you have to know when to use it and how to position yourself, because she holds the beam and she heals the players that she's aiming at, and you cannot come out of it unless you do some kind of cancel or something. You just sit there holding your healing, and you can't just stop it and then turn it back on. Something like that you cannot do. You just hold it and you keep healing your teammates, but you're very open. So either you do it and you let your team know so they could try to protect you while you're healing them up, or you just do it from a distance, in a position to where you're not being focused or something like that. That's where you would want to use it to start healing your team, because if they see you healing them in that way, they will try to target you. It will not just take you out of it by them just hitting you, but it will, like, say if they hit you with a CC, yes, you will stop doing it, and it'll be a waste of your ultimate. Now, Stalker, this is her better ultimate. This is the meta ultimate, because if you cannot get to your teammate or something like that, and you see, say, 2 of your teammates are losing and they're about to go down, but you cannot get to them in time, you can pop your Stalker. It will camo your entire team. Your whole team will go into stealth for 10 seconds. And while your team is in stealth, they will be healing. If they hit, yes, they will come out of stealth, but for the duration, they will go right back into stealth if they aren't hitting anymore. So this is a very good ultimate. This is, again, like I said, her meta ultimate, because if you cannot get to your teammates and your teammates need help or healing, you can pop this and it will camo your entire team and they will heal while they are in stealth. So this is a very powerful ultimate. And if you have a double healing team, I really recommend running Stalker, because Stalker will definitely help you save your other healer teammate, and or if you guys are running double heals, double DPS, it can easily get your team out of fights and help them come back on fights. So it's a very good ultimate and it's very powerful. And I do say that when it comes to the healing ultimates that we have in this game, this is one of the best in my opinion, that this thing can easily help your team be saved and or come back to a reset on a fight. But that's the last stuff I wanted to go over. Miko is a very good healer character. She's one of my favorites actually. Actually, she is my main healer on this game. But that's it for this video. If you guys want to catch more videos like this and more, please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on those notifications so you won't miss a video. And we are almost at our sub goal, and we would appreciate if you would spread our channel to your friends and family. That way you can help us out a lot more. It would be greatly appreciated. And with all that, it's been Sage, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.